Lane Chatter is now catching up with Daniel Gutierrez, the director of Bol300, where the World Cup is being held this year. But it was here in 2008, and it was in your family's older centre in 1994. What do you remember about those 2 years?
From 1994, about organizing the World Cup, nothing, because I was in middle school. I was 50 years old. So, but I attended, of course, every day the bowling, the competition. It was great to see a lot of people from all over the world. When I was 15, I haven't traveled out of Mexico or the States, so it was a really good experience to get to know people from all around the world. Also, in that year, we had the first perfect game from Jack Way of Canada. In the bowling center has only we opened in 1993, so in that year it wasn't very common to see 300 games. So I remember that pretty much. And also the parties that we had, the opening ceremony, the dinner at the opening ceremony too was a Mexican party in the government offices. And victory banquet also in the hotel with in that time a very popular music group and dancers from Mexico City. We brought it here to the dinner, and I remember that very well. It was really
good. And then 2008, you were already working in this new Bol300 center.
Yes, we opened in the summer in 2008, and we held the World Cup in November 2008. I remember everything was new. Everything about the organizing was a new experience. I didn't know what I was getting into it, but I wasn't afraid. It was I was learning.
Yes.
I was learning. I had my father. He organized in 1994, so I have a really good help with that. And we don't do it alone. A lot of people works with us. A lot of our bowlers, a lot of friends, a lot of family. So it's really fun. You spend a lot of time, but you also spend a lot of time with good people, and you get the chance to be with them and to work with them. And once the World Cup is here, it's better. You get to relax. When the World Cup starts, you get the feeling that all the work and all those hours that you spend working, it's really good. It's worth it.
That applies to this year as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
But this year's, I already knew what I needed to do, and I wanted to do it better. So it was a little bit more stressful.
You did a bit more, because earlier today I saw you working behind the coffee bar. So it's nice to see the boss getting his hands dirty like that.
Well, we like to everything to be perfect. Every area, the snacks, the restaurant, the bar, the bowling, everything.
And how do you think the hosting the World Cup supports sport bowling here in Mexico and the growth of bowling? Does it bring more people into the center?
Okay, for our local bowlers, it's great. It's great because they get excited, they get more into bowling, they buy equipment, balls, they bowl more, they like it. It's the sport that they love, and this is a sports competition, and it's great. And for the people that are not into bowling like a sport, more like an entertainment, it's good because the news about the World Cup spreads around the city, and it's in everyone's minds. So once they get to go outside of their houses and do something outside, they think about bowling, and we see them here at the bowling center.
I've seen the cards on the control desk there for birthday parties. Do you do a lot of birthday parties, office parties?
Yes, we have a lot of birthday parties. I noticed since many years ago that bowling, that little kids, boys and girls, like bowling. Every little kid. I had never met a little kid that doesn't like bowling or doesn't want to bowl. So bowling parties, we have them many years ago. Since we opened the first in Bol300 in 1994, we have the parties for little kids. And as a business leagues or business play bowling, we also have them. That depends on the economy of the state.
Yeah.
So once the economy is good, it's stable, they come here. It's very good because in bowling, men and women get to bowl together. Doesn't matter the age, as long as they physically can do it.
Yes.
They here. You have workers 20 years old to 60, 70 years old bowling together, and that's what they like, because other sports like basketball or baseball is not for everyone. You have to be physically able,
and you have to have a team.
Yeah,
you can bowl with just your mates.
Yeah, and here you can do it yourself and whatever you want.
It seems to me that the economy of Hermosillo and this area in particular is improving. It looks more affluent. There are far more businesses on the way from the hotel to the bowling centre. I've seen new businesses that certainly weren't there 9 years ago. That must help your business.
Yes, actually we opened in 2008. We were like the last building on the street.
But now you're more or less surrounded.
Yeah. We did it because there was a project to develop this part of the city, and now after 9 years, you can see the development of this part of the city, and it's growing. There's more things to do in this north part of the city, and we're hoping that it would get developed.
Yes, and you've upgraded the scoring system here to the BSX scoring system, and that surely will help bring in what you might call pastime bowlers.
Yes, of course. Actually, that's a funny thing how we do it, because our first bowling center, Bol300, we have a really old system there. They're old software, so we need to buy a new one for that. And when we reach to Cubic AMF, we got this. We got the new one for Bol300 with the World Cup, and the one that we had here, Bol300. We put it there in Bol300.
Well, when you say it was an old system, I remember the system where you had a plastic piece and you had to write it on by hand with a China gold pencil.
Not that old. It was the Advantage software. Then it changed to Perfectness.
Yes.
But,
what's your favorite thing about the World Cup?
The favorite thing about the World Cup? It's a competition. I love my family and I. We love sports, and we love to compete, and that's a good thing about bowling, because you can compete at any age. There's a lot of tournaments here in Mexico. We live near the United States, and there's more tournaments in the States where you can bowl. You have handicaps, so that helps. That helps the sports of bowling, because you can go to really big tournaments like the one in the TAT in Las Vegas, which is hundreds and hundreds of bowlers, and you can go bowl and you can win. You have the chance to win, and that's the good thing about. That's what we like about bowling, and that's what we like about the World Cup.
The competition is fantastic, and it's fun.
And what?
And it's fun.
Yeah, of course, it's fun. If it wasn't fun, we wouldn't be here.
That's brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Daniel Gutierrez. Thank you.
Thank you.